Cool. Right on. Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you please join us and direct your attention to the flag as we honor America.
Good evening and welcome to the 52nd annual Smudge Pot game, one of the oldest rivalries in San Gabriel Valley between the visiting Bonita Bearcats and the home San Dimas Saints, playing at the neutral site at Citrus College. I'm Billy Lopez alongside Nate Rodriguez, and we'll give you a little bit more details right after this national anthem. National anthem performed by the San Dimas Saints Marching Band, and the 52nd annual Smudge Pot game is just moments away. Nate, Bonita has started this season hot 3-0 and are looking for their 6th consecutive Smudge Pot title. They've won 5 in a row ever since hiring head coach Steve Bogan and co-head coach Bo Beatty. What does Bonita need to do to continue their dominance?
I'll tell you what, they just need to keep playing their game. They won 9 games last season, 9-3 under head coach Steve Bogan and Bo Beatty. This year they're off to a 3-0 start. They pummeled this San Dimas team last year, 28-0, with a couple of key returning cogs still in formation. You have Noah McHale, the senior, now going to Texas A&M. You have Dylan Robinson, committed to the University of Washington. And you got a new quarterback, Travis Lippert, who's shown that when the lights shine brightest, he can play pretty well. He beat Ontario Christian 35-27 a couple weeks ago. Excited to see what he can do tonight under center.
And just a couple weeks ago, as you mentioned, the second string Lippert ends up beating the former #1 string quarterback Melky, who is now at Ontario Christian. As for San Dimas, they come in 2-0 undefeated on the season with 2 blowout wins against Burbank and Pasadena. Have had 2 weeks to prep for this Smudge Pot game coming off their bye week. The Saints are led by head coach Mark Holman, who will be coaching his 9th Smudge Pot game. The second most in school history, only to Bill Zernikow's 11. Despite being in 9 Smudge Pot games, Nate, he holds a 2-6 record against Bonita. So what will Holman and the Saints need to do to get their first Smudge Pot title since 2017?
Coach Holman and the Saints have their work cut out for them. Obviously, this Bonita defense was tough last season. San Dimas did not complete a single pass all night, only earned 74 yards on the ground. The offense looks a little different this year. Brandon Meredith under center, a better arm at the quarterback position. They got Julian Vigil back this season. He was supposed to be a big threat last year, lost him to injury. We'll see what Caleb Morquecho can do. Obviously, controls the running game for San Dimas. There's some weapons that they can potentially beat this Bonita team with, but they got a lot of work to do.
Absolutely. You mentioned Vigil. It was a big hurt for San Dimas last year. On the first play of their season, on a kickoff return, breaks his collarbone, but this year able to play in the Smudge Pot game. His final time as the seniors getting ready to head, as you mentioned, out to University of Hawaii, committed. Both him and Mikhail from Bonita going to finish early, go there in January.
That's kind of neat. You see more and more kids kind of getting eager, or it seems more eager to get to the college level. That extra semester, you're in the weight room with your teammates. You're getting that sense of camaraderie with the guys that you're, taking snaps with come fall time. So as much time as you can possibly get beforehand there on campus in those programs, the better. Good for Vigil, good for any college kid that's going early.
Absolutely. For San Dimas, you mentioned that the rush attack will need to be a key for them. 2 games so far, Nate, and 10 different players, including their quarterback, Brandon Meredith, have had rushing attempts thus far this season. How does San Dimas, having a widespread of variety to go with at the running back position, play into the creativity, spreading the wealth, and also staying fresh? How is that going to help them tonight?
Last season, you saw San Dimas, they just ran out of options. They had no answer for this Bonita defense last season. Any which way they turned, Bonita was over, forcing a turnover, forcing a fumble, sacking the quarterback. This year, it seems Meredith scoring 49 points in both games to start the year. Seems to have his composure under him. Obviously, the lights shine bright in the Smudge Pot game. This is the one game early on in the season that you have circled on the schedule. So we'll see how he fares. We'll see how the rest of the running group fares as well. It's fresh legs for your offense. That's the biggest key.
And for Bonita, last year, you and I both called this game, and we were expecting pretty much an aerial assault, right? We saw Daniel Melky, the freshman quarterback, getting ready. He had receivers in Robinson and Montenegro, who had a fantastic Smudge Pot game a season ago. And instead, they kind of surprised everybody and just pounded the ball against San Dimas and ran through that defensive line pretty much the entire game and won 28-0. Can we expect something similar again today, or do you think Bonita will maybe go to the passing game a little bit more?
I think it depends on how San Dimas' defensive line fares. Last season, Jaden Montenegro, the senior running back, transferred from South Hills. He had his way with that defense all night long. They established the running game early on. Milky didn't have a great first half. Watched film during the halftime break, came back in the second half. And then by the time the running game was established, Montenegro could take off when he needed, and Milky was airmailing it when he needed. So we'll see how Travis Lippert fares. He's passed the ball well. The Bearcats are running it again as well, too. So we'll see how this one goes.
So you can see the captains for Bonita and the captains for San Dimas out there. Julian Vigil in number 23, 34. You got Caleb Morquecho. Those are the 2 guys that we highlighted during this pregame here for San Dimas. Of course, you have the new quarterback for Bonita, Travis Lippert, out there getting ready for the coin toss. Just under a minute ready for kickoff here, and they, putting aside the bias and everything and full transparency, I am a alumni of San Dimas. I know what this rivalry means to the city, San Dimas and the city of Laverne. And it's just such a great experience. Every time Smudge Pot comes around, you have this big old pride in you. And just to give you a little bit of a story, I have a coworker of mine who went to Bonita High School, and we rarely talk about our schools, but this week, Smudge Pot week, every single day we saw them. Go Saints,
How
go
could you
Bearcats,
not,
go
right?
Saints, go Bearcats. The crowd is filled with so much alumni. Student section's packed as we get ready for the 52nd annual Smudge Pot game. Bonita holds the edge, 26 wins, 24 losses, and 1 tie. And really, that has come with their recent success of 5 consecutive Smudge Pots. Looking for their 6th straight. The record is 7 in a row, held by Bonita from a stretch of 1996 to 2002. So if they're going to try to equal that and surpass that, it starts right here tonight at beautiful Citrus College.
How about this entrance, huh?
Look at that. The Bearcats come running onto the field. I feel like those just get better and better every single year.
The atmosphere for these types of games is unmatched. You know, both sides are ready to go. San Dimas about to break through that barrier with all that energy. Here they come.
Nate, it's a beautiful 73 degrees tonight, in a time where really just a week ago we had blistering heat earlier this week as well. The first ever actually Smudge crowned game, flag football between Bonita and San Dimas, postponed this Monday to a later date in October because of the weather. But fortunately tonight we got beautiful skies here, cooler weathers, and we get to play the Smudge spot game. It's
been a wild week with all the wildfires and wild temperatures. You hope and pray for everybody's safety and recovery that's been affected. But you're excited for some high school football, some meaningful high school football, rivalry game between the San Dimas Saints and the Bonita Bearcats. And what a beautiful night. It feels like fall.
Oh, yes. It certainly does. As we get ready for kickoff, San Dimas will kick off to Bonita. Bearcats in their white away uniforms, the Saints in their home blue. Bearcats will be working from right to left on your screen. Joseph Lara, deep back to receive for Bonita.
He's alongside Jacob Maddox.
Just about all the students in both student sections standing, getting ready. 52nd annual Smudge Pot game is underway. A little bit of a lighter kick there, and I think San Dimas might have it. They're signaling for it. Let's see what the referees say.
San Dimas sideline thinks they got it. Players think they got it.
And they do. How about that? Mark Coleman with a little bit of a sneaky onside kick, catches the Bearcats off guard, and San Dimas will have the first possession of the game.
I'll tell you what, nobody thought that was coming. Mark Coleman right out of the gate with a little bit of trickery, caught the Bonita return by surprise. San Dimas, obviously they've had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. They've gone up and down the playbook. They're ready to go.
And let's face it, when you're the underdogs, why not take the opportunities that you got to take, especially early on in the game when you got nothing to lose.
Oh, what a way to get the blood flowing.
So here the Saints go 1st and 10 from the Bearcats' 35-yard line. Meredith under pressure, hands it off to the right side. It's about 4 yards on there.
Good job reading the defense. Easy hold to the right for a pickup of a few. San Dimas, they're just going to need to chip away all night long. You know this Bonita defense is strong. They've got endurance. They showed it all game last year during the Smudge spot. So one play at a time.
Meredith under center, 2nd and 5. Quick handoff to the right for a couple of yards. Vigil on the carry. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
You're going to see a lot of different looks from this San Dimas offense tonight. Last year, as mentioned, San Dimas did not complete a single pass play. This year, you're going to see with Meredith under center, he's got a better arm, he's got better options with Vigil and not just Morquecho behind him.
Hand up the middle to Morquecho. Morquecho stopped immediately. That's going to bring up 4th down. That was Dylan Robinson for the Bearcats getting in there and stopping Morquecho early on. 4th and 2 from the Bearcats' 28-yard line.
Brady Arriaga, the junior kicker, doesn't look like he's out there.
Dimas selecting to go for it on 4th and 2 from the Bearcats' 27, 10 minutes in the opening quarter. Meredith under center. 2 backs behind him. 1 wide receiver down to the right. Hand up the middle. Once again, Robinson in on the tackle. Turnover on downs. The Bearcats will take over.
You didn't see them try a pass play. They ran it every single snap, and you knew this Bonita defense eventually was going to catch on. San Dimas not showing a variety of looks. Bonita defense doing a good job.
They do like to have a well-balanced approach. As we mentioned, 10 different players rushing. They went with their top 2 guys, Caleb Mokecho and Julian Vigil, on both of those attempts to get it on 3rd and short and 4th and 2. Unfortunately for the Saints, unable to punch it through and keep the chains moving. Bearcats and junior quarterback Lipper will take over here, 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. 10 minutes and 3 seconds remaining in the first quarter. No score in the 52nd Smudge Pot game. Lipper takes the snap, fakes the hands off, throws deep, intended for Robinson, finds him at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, and just like that, the Bearcats are on the board.
Wasting no time. Dylan Robinson had nobody around him, and he could just stare the defender in his face. How easy was that? Showing you how it's done.
That was electric. First play on play action, wide open over the middle. Thought for a second Lipper might have overshot him a little bit, but Robinson's so athletic, ran underneath it, no one in sight, untouched into the end zone. 3rd receiving touchdown for Robinson on the season. That ties in with Joseph Lara for team lead. Steven Lenahan in for the point after. Snap, kick is up and good. And the Bearcats, just like that, a 15-second possession, and they're up 7-0 against the Saints.
It was only 1 touchdown in the first half of Bonita last year. It's 1 play, and they've got 7 on the board already. Could be a long night for San Dimas. It's just 1 drive each. That's got to be the way you think about it if you're a Saint.
Absolutely. And it just the pendulum swinging from surprising them with the onside kick, starting in the Bearcats' 35-yard line to not even get the drive a little bit deeper, not even in field goal range. You turn it over, and then boom, a 60-yard plus pass into the end zone, and you're down 7.
Well, now you start to hope the San Dimas offense is the juggernaut it's shown it can be the first 2 games, scoring 49 points, obviously against much weaker defenses than this 95th overall California-ranked Bonita team with 2 star defensive players. It's just 1 drive. It's going to be
really tough, but you're right. Just 1 drive. It's only 7 points, and we'll see how the Saints can respond. Bearcats set to kick off from their own 40. Once again, it is Lenahan. Lenahan boots it. Saints will let it bounce. That's a little bit of a scary attempt there. Kick goes out of bounds, and the Saints will start from their own 20.
Dylan Robinson committed to go to Washington. As we learned before the game, as a defensive end, a defensive back, I don't know. I think Lippert's got tremendous arm. I mean, we just learned that the junior's taken over for Daniel Milkey after transferring to Ontario Christian. You say he overshot him. It looked like they were in perfect sync.
Yeah. Here go the Saints with a handoff to the right side. It's met by a host of Bearcats to stop them behind the line of scrimmage. That was Mokecho once again. To bring up 2nd down from their own 35.
Mentioned after the opening kickoff, San Dimas had 2 weeks to prep for the game. Bonita has played 3 consecutive weeks to open the season. I wonder if that has something to do with the momentum rolling in, you know, knowing you're steamrolling your opponent, building up for the big game. You come out, you show out, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yes, that fine balance between rest and rust, right?
Right.
Once again, Meredith under center, 2nd and 10 from their own 35. Meredith drops back, throws right. Catch is made. That is Gavin Westervoort. Just shy of the 40-yard line for a pickup of about 4 yards to bring up 3rd and 6.
San Dimas a bit more efficient through the air this year than on the ground, but they provide a good balance offensively on both sides of the ball. As you mentioned, that's their first pass.
First catch in a Smudge Pod game for a while, you say.
Yep.
A little bit of a trickery there. It gets back to Vigil, but only for about a yard. It'll bring up 4th and 5.
Bonita defensive line has been impressive. You see Cole Parra out there wearing the cast on his right arm. Nothing stopping him from playing.
And San Dimas elect to punt. Quick 3 and out. The Bearcats will be set for their second possession. Their first one was dynamite. 1 play and a touchdown.
Look who's in the backfield again for Bonita. It's Dylan Robinson.
Why not? Big-time players make big-time plays.
He's already brought one back to the house on a punt return this year.
So low snap. The kick nearly blocked. Robinson signals for the fair catch. Falls back and makes it right around the 23-yard line.
Just around where they were last time, no?
Yeah. They had no problem. 15 seconds.
First and 10 for the Bearcats at the Bonita 22.
Well, last year the Bearcats elected to run, and first play, deep pass, and it worked out for them. We certainly know that the Bearcats do have the threat to be able to run against San Dimas, and let alone anybody. Their leading running back, Joseph Lara, 152 rushing yards, averaging 50 per game and 5 per carry, is to the right of the quarterback, and he'll take it up the middle, breaks 1 tackle, and then is wrapped up around the ankles. Pick up of about 5 there to bring up 2nd down.
Lara's been really impressive as only a sophomore. You can tell plenty of great football to be played in front of him for the next couple of years, and then beyond that, their leading rusher is just a sophomore, and he's got the body for it.
Oh yeah, bulldozes people. I mean, you were mentioning on social media, right? Bonita posted one of him just bulldozing somebody into the end zone for a touchdown a week ago.
Their opening game against Muir, his first touchdown of the season. You can find it, I believe, on his Instagram. I forgot his handle, but you know it's there.
Another handoff to Lara, this time to the right side from the left hash. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 2, just shy of the 30-yard line. Almaraz for the Saints in on the tackle. 3rd and 2 from the Bearcats' 30-yard line. We'll have a timeout here. Looks as if San Dimas might have called that timeout there. And why not? It's a big play, 3rd and 2. If you get the stop here, you get the ball back, 6:40 to go in the opening quarter. You're down 7. You want to stop this here.
It has the potential to be momentum swinging. Obviously, San Dimas needs to get the play call right on the defensive end. Mark Holman does not want to surrender any more serious yardage to this Bonita team in a matter of seconds, just the same way the last drive ended.
You're watching the 52nd annual Smudge Pot football game, San Dimas Community Television. 6:40 to go in the opening drive. Bearcats have a 7-0 lead. Thanks to the Robinson touchdown reception from Lippert on the opening play for the Bearcats. 3 wide receivers set for the Lippert. Lara to his right. 3rd and 2 from their own 30. Bearcats in their white uniforms working from right to left on your screen. Out of the shotgun, Lippert takes the snap, hands off, up the middle to Lara, and there's the defensive line getting right through there. Flag on the play. We'll see what the flag is, but big time play by the San Dimas Saints getting in there.
Elijah Aguilar, the senior defensive end, just bursted through the Bonita offensive line, got his hands on Lippert fast, but that flag on the field, you gotta hope the best for San Dimas.
Yeah, unfortunately, head official there signaling that the penalty was on San Dimas. They're gathering in the middle there, maybe figuring out exactly the spot of the ball and what exactly was called. The automatic first down, move the chains, and the Bearcats drive will continue.
Got to move on, can't dwell on it. The more you dwell on things, the quicker things spiral. That's how we saw it happen for San Dimas last year in this game.
6:34 to go in the first quarter. Bonita on top of San Dimas, 7-0. Seems to be a little bit of confusion on the field, and there we go. Now the crew's moving. For a second, I thought they were going to replay third down.
Sure, that is what it looked like. They had it third down and real short.
Oh, there we go. 1st and 10 from their own 32. Fresh set of downs. A trio bunched up to the left of Lippert. Lara to his left. Out of the shotgun once again. Takes the snap. Fakes the handoff. Escapes right. And will be brought down. Sacked on the play by the Saints.
A great job of tracking down Travis Lippert. Nathaniel Almaraz just getting his hands around the young quarterback for Bonita. Big play for the defense.
It could have been even more dangerous for a second. That ball was exposed, and Lippert, coming from that blind side, not able to see. Almaraz chasing him down. They're lucky that it's only a loss of 3. 2nd and 13 from their own 29, 5:40 to go in the opening quarter. The Bearcats have a 7-0 lead, and they're looking to add to that. 3 wide receivers set up top to the right. Lippert takes the snap, rolls out right, block picked up by Lara. Lippert escapes the pocket and will pick up about 4 yards to bring up 3rd and 9.
You could tell Lippert was looking for Noah McHale down the field, but it was a good job on defense by the Saints to lock up the trio of receivers that Bonita had lined up for Lippert. The quarterback had nowhere to go, ran in to the defensive line.
So they'll settle it on the 35-yard line, 3rd and 7. Another big time stop here, potentially for the Saints. As the student section tries to get the defense going. Noah McHale sets up in the slot to the left of Lippert. 3 wide receivers out, Lara to the right. Lippert takes the snap, extra protection with Lara, throws to the right. That's Robinson once again, making the catch and picking up the first down right around midfield.
Robinson listed at 6'3" on the roster. Word on the street, he's growing at 6'4", using the size over a pair of defenders there. Good for the first down.
And 3rd down and some yardage to go. Why not go to the number 1 wideout? Dylan Robinson already with a couple of nice plays for the Bearcats here in the Smudge Pot game. Just under 4.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Lippert takes the snap, hands it off to Lara up the middle. Gets a couple of blocks. Will eventually go down after picking up about 3 yards on 1st down.
Good job by the Bearcat O-line to help Lara gain a couple of extra yards. Looked like San Dimas had a quick stop, and Lara, with the help of his teammates, picked up about 4 when he really should have had about 2.
And the Bearcats were looking to expose this D-line of San Dimas, who, with all due respect, they feel is a weak defensive line. They feel that they could easily just punish them. And early on, it's kind of been a little bit balanced. It's been more of the secondary that have felt the pain. Here's Lara picking up a block on the left sideline and then is wrangled out of bounds at the 40. Late flag coming in. It might be against San Dimas as Mark Holman goes in there to chat with Julian Vigil after that. Goes against the Bearcats.
Tough blow for Steve Bogan's offense. They were rolling right. It was a matter of time before they tried to expose the Saints coming the other way. Lara had a good run, good enough for a first down, but, you know, flags will kill you throughout the game, especially when you're making your way downfield. Now they're back in their own territory.
2nd and 10 from the 50.
So 2nd and 10 from midfield.
Almost in their own territory, huh?
4 wide receivers set, a trio up top to the right of Lippert, 1 down low to the left. It's Jacob Gill, the solo wideout down there on your screen. Lippert rolls out right, looks right, throws right, and dropped to Jacob Gill, the mentioned wide receiver out there. Had the first down picked up, but incomplete, and it's 3rd and 10.
Would have been Gill's 5th catch of the year. Just a little bit of butterfingers right there. Wanted to keep carrying the ball before he even had it. Ball first is what they teach you.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where he had a little bit of daylight ahead of him and was ready to make a big move, but forgot to corral it in. And instead of a first down, it's 3rd and long from midfield, right at the 50-yard line. 7-0 score in favor of Bonita. Bonita in their road white uniforms, although we're at a neutral site in beautiful Citrus College. The Saints, the acting home team, in their home blue uniforms.
This could be a make-or-break play for the Saints defense. Sorry, Billy.
Yeah, here we go. Let's see if they can make it, Nate. Oh, how about that? A little bit of a hard count. Gets the Saints to jump off sides, and that'll help Bonita.
Well, that could break it.
It will. 3rd and 5 is a lot easier than 3rd and 10. That's basic mathematics.
Opens the playbook up a little bit for Steve Bogan. The play action has worked well for the Bearcats so far, but Lara, you could tell his legs are starting to get loose.
Steve Bogan playing now in his, or not playing, but rather coaching his 6th Smudge Pot game. It's a perfect 5-0. If he could get his 6th win today, he'll just be 2 shy of the all-time lead, Eric Podley, who had 8 Smudge Pot wins as a head coach. Lippert over the middle and out of reach of the intended receiver. That was Cole Para.
That's a tough target to throw to, especially over the middle, who's got only 1 hand. Don't know how much sticky stuff Para's got on that cast and how much he can really reel something in with 2 hands. But you could tell Para went up, left hand only, to try and make that catch. Just couldn't quite reel it in.
And Nate, the secondary of San Dimas was lurking right behind. If he doesn't get a hand on it, that might be a pick.
Easy.
4th and 5, one of those situations where, hey, why not? You're already at midfield. What's a punt going to do? You're up 7. And the Bearcats decide to go for it. From the Saints 45, high snap. But rolls left, throws left. Got 1 foot down. It ain't complete. Complete.
A nice footwork
needed there.
by
How about
Dylan
that?
Robinson, yeah. Not sure. I mean, high school, you have more leeway with just the 1 foot. You don't need to get 2 down. Robinson knows that. Working with the sideline, he's well aware where he is. Makes the catch, good fundamentals, gets the 1 foot down. It's 1st down for Bonita.
Once again, in a situation where you need a play to be made, it's been Robinson to make that play for the Bearcats. Robinson sets up down there to the left on the bottom of your screen. Handoff up the middle. It's Joseph Lara, who's bottled up right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. 2nd down.
You can tell this San Dimas defense is starting to read the Bonita run plays a little bit better as the game goes along. 1st quarter closure coming to a crawl, it feels like, but Bonita still trying to make their way downfield.
I want to thank you for joining us here on KWST, San Dimas Community Television. 2nd and 10 from the Saints 35. Bearcats in enemy territory, looking to go up by 2 possessions. Lippert out of the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it off up the middle. That's Apodaca on the carry. Picks up a few yards to bring up 3rd.
Getting some fresh legs in for Joseph Lara. Apodaca, his 18th carry of the season. He's the next best back for Steve Bogan.
And despite Lara having the most rushing yards on the Bearcats roster, still has yet to find a rushing touchdown. Apodaca has 1 rushing touchdown, and Davion Woodley 1 as well. It's Apodaca who stays out there to the right of Lippert. And once again, another handoff to Apodaca. Pretty close to a first down. We'll see where they mark it. They're going to say just short. It'll be 4th and inches.
A couple of nice jump cuts there, however, from Apodaca. Able to break a tackle or two, gained them a couple extra yards, got them that close.
Someone's hype out there. I don't know if you could hear it on or not. Big 4th down here from the Saints' 25-yard line. Hand up the middle, easily gets the first down, staying on his feet, breaking a few tackles. That's Noah McHale.
You wondered when he'd make an impact offensively. It almost came to a halt when he tripped over a teammate, but McHale getting the run on 4th down. Bogan in his offense, utilizing the big guy, using his strength, picking up the first.
We knew McHale was special a few years ago, calling these Smudge Pot games in years past, but man, he is a special talent that the Bearcats have. As you mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Nate, committed to Texas A&M.
Indeed he is, couldn't go anywhere there. Good job by the defense, back-to-back plays where Bonita hands it to McHale. The second time, the Saints say, no way, Jose.
So 2nd and 10 from the Saints' 13-yard line. That'll be the end of the first quarter. The score is Bonita 7, San Dimas nothing. You're watching KWST San Dimas Community Television. Well, Nate, after the first quarter, a great start for Bonita. Their first possession, get the big-time play, Lippert to Robinson for the opening score touchdown. And here, as we start the second quarter, pretty much on the doorstep from punching it into the end zone again. How are things looking for Bonita?
You know, it was a great start for Bonita. They had the big play right off the bat. Fireworks started early. The first play, a big pass to Robinson for what was it, 70-plus yards for the scoring touchdown. This offense, you know, was going to come out and try to make big plays. Robinson is their biggest playmaker alongside McHale. They're now starting to get him involved, but really I'm impressed by the bounce back, the recovery of the San Dimas defense. They only allowed the 7. You kind of expected more after the immediate rush, you know, in scoring by Bonita. So we'll see if they can hang on here. It now looks like the Bearcats are marching their way toward another score, but it's the start of the second quarter. Perhaps the break gave the Saints some momentum. We'll see if they can continue the recovery.
With the second quarter, the Bearcats will be working from left to right on your screen in their road white uniforms. There you see Lara kind of signaling to the offensive line a little bit. Lara, the first string running back for Coach Bogan, who takes the snap. Little flea flicker, Lippert back to Lara, and into the end zone for a Bonita Bearcat touchdown. Nate.
A flag after, because you knew this Bonita Bearcats offense was going to celebrate a little bit, and I feel like you see more and more of that in high school football as each day progresses. But just talking about coming out of the break, this team was going to come at you with big plays. The flea flicker for the touchdown into the corner. Lara's the one who scores it. There's that second score.
I haven't seen one of those in quite some time. High school, college, NFL.
Football is back, baby.
I really haven't seen one since I was playing video games on Saturday night. Well, how about that? Lippert finds the end zone yet again. 2 passing touchdowns, one to Robinson and the other to Lara. Lara picks up his 4th receiving touchdown on the season. Bearcats And a 13-0 lead as Lenahan is in for the point after. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 14-0 lead for Bonita, as the Saints will desperately need to start responding here. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot similar to last year's game, 28-0 in favor of Bonita.
You say a lot similar to last year's game, and I start to think about how the Bonita offense used the running game to get things going. They established it through the run. That last drive, they used Lara to get down the field. They brought Apodaca in, picked up some yardage for them. Then they brought Lara back into the game. Featured a little bit of trickery, didn't use the run, threw it to him. I don't know. I feel like the playbook's starting to really open up for Coach Bogan now, and San Dimas is going to need to lock it down defensively before, like you said, it turns into a blowout.
And Bogan knows what he's doing, and so does Bo Beatty. I mean, this Bonita Bearcat coaching staff is just one of the deepest in the San Gabriel Valley. And you were mentioning to me at the top of the telecast, this is a coach who's won multiple championships and has been at the helm of some top programs. So Bonita really has a good coaching staff, and it's showing early on.
An esteemed coach out of South Hills High School, Steve Bogan, won 4 CIF championships there. You can read all about him with the Google search if you're at home. We got a game to call, though, up in here.
We'll go the Saints from the 25, and a good return to punch them up near the 45-yard line.
Julian Vigil on the return, tackled by Jackson Lawrence.
Saints, in the meantime, Nate, looking for their first down. They've had 3 possessions, and turnover on downs first one, and 2 3-and-outs on their subsequent drives.
They've completed a pass. You know, they've got things working through the air, so at least there's some progression in that aspect, but you really start to hope if you're watching at home or here inside the Citrus College Stadium that the Saints break through here.
Meredith takes the snap, hand off to the left side. Good hole right there early on. That's Morquecho on the carry, picks up 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6. Injured Bearcat on the field. It's Michael Lee, the defensive end. You never want to see any injuries in any game. And looks like Lee will get some help from the training staff there.
A nice run, though, however, by Morquecho, bringing it back to the last play. You got to imagine if San Dimas is going to stay in this game, Morquecho is going to play a significant role, one bigger than he's already played through the first quarter. Thought he had a bigger break on that play than he really got, a gain of about, I thought was 5, it's only 4.
It's kind of that one saying, right, Nate? Just get a little bit more vertical
right
on your drives and your rushes, and you're going to pick up more yardage. It looked a little bit as if Morquecho was working more towards the sideline and didn't really pick up as much as he possibly could have.
A good job by the Bonita defense to stick with him.
Yeah, because if Morquecho's loose, it's going to be tough to bring him down. Caleb Morquecho coming in on the season in 2 games, 29 carries for 249 yards. Nate, both games rushing for over 100 yards.
Averaging over 8.5 per carry. He leads the team with 4 rushing touchdowns. This guy is a threat.
As both sides will give a round of applause for Michael Lee as he heads out. Walking a little bit gingerly there, holding his, looks to be like a shoulder or an elbow, an arm there. And obviously you hope that he's able to return to the game. He's a big threat for Bonita's defense, Nate, as he is tied for fumble recoveries on the season for a team high.
Only a sophomore too, so you know that the potential is only going to keep climbing.
2nd and 6 from their own 46. Pitch play to Morquecho, who leapfrogs a Bearcat and picks up 2 yards right at the 48-yard line to bring up 3rd and 4.
Positive yardage, one play at a time, but now this is the one that matters. Still looking for that first down. It could give you a bit of momentum and push you toward that score.
And this is kind of where San Dimas has struggled a little bit. 3rd and short, 4th and short. not quite able to continue these drives and move them forward early on. 10:45 and counting remaining in the first half with Bonita up 14-0. Big time third down, 3rd and 4 from their own 48 here in the second quarter. 3 wide receivers set. Meredith drops back, looks left, throws left, passes caught, Vigil. Looks like the officials are gonna place him right near the first down marker.
It looked like our nearest sideline official had the catch.
And they are giving Vigil that forward progress.
Good to see.
First down.
Good to see Brandon Meredith being able to make a play. They've ran the ball so much here in this first half. Meredith, that's really only his second pass play, and he's completed it.
That play almost went nowhere. And thankfully for the Saints, that's Almaraz on the carry, able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe even picked up a yard there for second down. And Nate, you mentioned Meredith being able to make a couple of completions early on. Really haven't seen much from him thus far this season. 12 of 15 through the air in 2 games, as St. Dimas really likes to run the ball, and they do it well. But talking from some coaches of San Dimas, Meredith, one of the best arms they have in recent years, and there's a chance to air it out. Pass is caught and into the end zone. Jeremiah Fernandez catches the bomb, and the Saints are on the board.
Couldn't draw it up any better. Talking about how he can sling it, and then he shows it off for you, huh, Billy?
Usually we have the broadcaster's curse up here, but
oh, man.
Sometimes you'll find lightning in a bottle, and Meredith shows off the arm and shows off our research a little bit too.
Playmaking ability is there for junior quarterback Brandon Meredith. That was a dime.
Arriaga in for the point after, drills it, and the Saints cut the deficit in half. It is now 14-7 in favor of Bonita with 9:12 remaining in the first half of play.
3rd passing touchdown for Meredith on the season. That gets your crowd back into it and starts to give you some hope. As you mentioned, top of the drive, or as I mentioned with you, top of the drive. You hoped it was that drive. You hoped they were breaking through there. San Dimas got it.
Jeremiah Fernandez, the senior, that was only his 2nd reception of the season, Nate. But both of those receptions, big-time receptions. His previous one, a 45-yard reception. This one, a little bit more.
For some points.
So scores 14-7. Saints in their blue home uniforms. They'll be kicking right to left. Bearcats in their road white. Trying to catch the Bearcats sleeping again, and a big favorable bounce. The Saints have done it again.
You can tell now they've just been practicing this over and over and over again. They've got that kick, the bounce, the read down to perfection. To a T, that's twice.
2 for 2, that's Gavin Westervoort getting in there and making the play. High bounce, beautiful bounce. I mean, this is stuff you can't even really do in video games. I know we were talking about video games earlier, but I don't know if you played any Madden or new NCAA college football. Try to do some of these onside kicks, and it's just always, you know, boot it right into the sideline or right into the breadbasket of a receiver. Dangerous pass, nearly picked off as Jacob Gill for the Bearcats.
Meredith
bring up second down.
Was just trying to dump one off over the defense, but Gill doing a great job coming out of nowhere. Almost picked it up off the ground for an interception. Just looked like San Dimas wasn't exactly on the same page there. I haven't been playing enough Madden or NCAA college football, though.
Oh, the NCAA one has been quite the ride.
Has it lived up to the hype?
I think so.
In your opinion?
I think so.
All right.
2nd and 10, here's Meredith, and maybe a false start. Yeah.
Offsides on the
No, offsides. There we go. Offsides on the Bearcats. That'll help the Saints, who after the second successful onside kick recovery have possession in Bearcat territory, down one possession, 14-7 with 9:01 remaining in the first half. 2nd and 5 from the Bearcats' 33-yard line. Meredith under center. Vigil directly behind him, hands it off instead to Morquecho, and Morquecho can't get back to the line of scrimmage, a loss of 2 to bring up 3rd and 7.
The Bonita defense got burned last time around. You know they're going to make their adjustments and try not to let that happen again before they head to half. San Dimas needs to continue to be creative if they want to beat the Bearcats secondary.
We're watching KWST San Dimas Community Television. I'm Billy Lopez alongside Nate Rodriguez. We're bringing to you the 52nd annual Smudge Pot game, one of the oldest rivalries in the San Gabriel Valley.
There's a timeout on the field.
3rd and 7. And San Dimas will elect for their second timeout.
It was a good answer by the Saints. You kind of hope that they continue to keep things rolling here. Would love to head into the halftime break with a tie, but there's plenty of time left. 8:15 before the halftime break. You know this Bonita offense is going to want to come back with an answer. You're sure that, you know, Lippert and the rest of the offensive unit is kind of fired up, having the ball really taken out from under them with that, you know, second well-executed kickoff by the Saints. They're playing, this is a great football game. This is a well-matched football game. San Dimas climbing back into it. You hope only that, you know, their play continues to build.
Absolutely, Nate. It has been a great matchup thus far in the first quarter and a half. And like you said, you got to give credit to the Saints for not putting their head down after 2 touchdowns and being down 14-0 early on in that second quarter, and instead responding. And not only responding, but responding in a big way, showing now that you have the passing game to your ability as well, which we've only really seen in years past. A lot of run, but Meredith showing some explosiveness here from Vigil. Breaks past Laura and will pick up about a yard.
Vigil getting a chance to show off the speed, working horizontally from sideline to sideline. Pushing it on the far end, thought maybe he'd have a chance to split the defenders, but just ran out of room, nowhere to go.
That'll bring up 4th and 4 from the Bearcats' 32-yard line. The Saints marching in enemy territory, working from right to left on your screen. They're in their blue home uniforms. Meredith, the quarterback, under center, takes the snap. Rolls out left, faces pressure, steps up, breaks 1 tackle, and then will be sacked. Another turnover on downs for the Saints. Bearcats take over.
A great job by Bonita, just not losing sight of the ball. Meredith ran out of options, surveyed the field, but you had a sense when the Saints lined up for that play that that scheme wasn't going to work. Meredith tried to roll to his right, picked up a couple of yards, but well short of the marker. The Bearcats found him.
So how will Bonita respond? This will be their first possession since giving up points on the defensive end. In large part because the Saints' 2 successful onside kicks.
Something tells me this is a big play right here. Something lucrative. Going back to the drawing board for it.
And maybe so. That's why they wanted to think about it even more. 7:59 to go in the first half. Good one here in the Smudge Pot game 2024. Bonita has a 14-7 lead over San Dimas. This rivalry obviously extends into multiple sports, different things, and I know one of the ones that everyone was looking forward to was the first ever Smudge Crown, as mentioned earlier in the broadcast. was postponed due to the weather for a later date in October. But kind of an interesting note is the Sandmark sisters, Ashley Sandmark at San Dimas, Brianna Sandmark at Bonita, both playing on the flag football teams, both sisters, both opposing schools.
Taking the sibling rivalry to the next level, I guess.
Well, here's a big time play. Flag is thrown. Bonita into the end zone yet again. We'll have to wait and see where the flag is. But at the moment, it's another touchdown. That's Noah McHale this time on the receiving end.
McHale had a lot of open space there near the far sideline. You got to start to think maybe that was...
And a holding play will bring it back.
You just had an inkling with how much room he had breaking down the field that an illegal block or something helped him out.
That almost caught us sleeping there.
I knew it was going to be a big play. You just had the feeling that Steve Bogan wasn't gonna let that slide.
Well, he did draw up something nice, put the ball in your most athletic player's hands and let him do some work on a wide receiver screen up to the top of the sideline on your screen. But
ball never lies, though, they say.
Indeed. Holding penalty brings them back. 1st and 12 from their own 30-yard line now. Lippert once again at a shotgun. Hands it up the middle. There's Laura breaking through, picks up 10 to bring up 2nd and 2 on the 40.
Haven't seen many explosive runs yet here in the first half. Laura doing a good job of picking up more than 5 on that carry. Puts Bonita in a good position here on 2nd down.
Laura dual threat, over 100 receiving yards on the season, 4 receiving touchdowns, and the leading rusher, over 150 rushing yards on the season. Picks up the 1st down right there.
Well, there you go. He's averaging just over 5 per carry, over 2 carries. He able to move the chains for Bonita.
1st and down for Bonita on their own 43. They have a 14-7 lead over San Dimas. 6:40 to go in the first half. 2024 Smudge Pot game on KWST, San Dimas Community Television. 3 wide receiver set, 1 up top and 2 down low. Bobbles the snap. Lippert gets it out, finds Robinson, and a 1st down. Falling down on the San Dimas 46.
Cool, calm, and collected as much as possible for Travis Lippert. Obviously that snap bouncing right off the face mask, able to collect it in front of him. And at that point, you look for your number 1 guy, because please save me with a catch, Dylan Robinson. And Robinson, you know, is going to make a nice play. A great job showing off the athleticism, making the catch near the sideline. Another Bonita 1st down.
A little bit of a hot potato action there. One of those games that you always hear about, but I don't know about you. I never played hot potato, but
kind of like just tossing something around real fast. I don't think I've literally played hot potato, but, you know, trying to get something out of your hands.
Lippert over the middle, finds his receiver. That's Jacob Gill, who's tackled down at the 24.
Gill hauling it in with 2 hands up the middle, unafraid. In some dangerous field position, able to reward the Bonita offense now just outside the red zone.
1st and 10 from the 24. Bearcats in Saints territory. We saw Gill drop a pass earlier, and this time makes a spectacular grab. 3 wide receiver set. It's McHale and Gill up top. Robinson down low to the right of Lippert. And whistles at the snap.
Kelly Margot field. Offsides on the Saints. 1st and 5 from the Saints 19.
Saints caught offsides. 1st and 5 from the Saints 19-yard line.
That's a tough one for San Dimas. Obviously, you're outside the red zone at 1st and 10, then it cuts you halfway down and puts you at the 19. Even more pressure for a Bonita offense that looks like it's rolling right here.
Second time that the Bearcats enter the red zone. Their first time, there's a touchdown pass to Lara. His 4th receiving touchdown on the season. Hand off to Lara. Gets wrapped up immediately by a swarm of Saints. Bring up 2nd down.
That's what you need if you're San Dimas. You need stops. Can't let Lara go anywhere, and you can't let the threat of Robinson and McHale expose your defense. You got to lock down here. Playing it against yourself.
Bring up 2nd down and 4 yards to go. All spotted on the Saints' 18-yard line. From the right hash, it's Lippert out of the shotgun. Lara, the back set to his left. 3 wide receivers set. Dangerous Robinson down low to the right. Lippert rolls out left, dumps it off to his back, and scampering into the end zone for another touchdown. This time it's Cole Para. Versatility for Lippert and the Bearcats. That's 3 passing touchdowns and 3 different receivers.
Cole Para with 1.5 hands using the cast. 2 hands with that one to bring it in. Able to add to the scoreboard for Bonita. A great job on the screen pass by the Bearcats offense. Left Para wide open to cross it in with a little skip and a hop.
It's Para's 2nd receiving touchdown on the season. Lippert now with 11 passing touchdowns on the season. Bearcats went for 2 there, Nate. And they had a chance there. That was Jacob Maddox, the junior, taking the snap. The pass is incomplete in the end zone. The score is 20-7 in favor of Bonita. 4:02 remaining in the first half. And the Saints will try to march down the field and get another score before the end of the first half.
In a rivalry game, I feel like you look for any competitive advantage, you know, whether the defense is expecting you to go for 2 or not. 22-7 looks better than 21-7, and if you're San Dimas, 20-7 is the most optimal of the 3. So it's a good look for the Saints. Obviously, no harm, no foul for Bonita. You're still up by 2 possessions. But if you're San Dimas, you want another score here heading into half.
Oh, I think you almost need a score. And it'll be set up great, because although the Saints had the first drive of the game, they won it on an onside kick. So if you score here, you're also receiving the ball to start the second half. On a couple of hobbles, that's Vigil picking it up and is wrapped up aggressively at the 21.
That was a great tackle made by John Shaheen, the sophomore guard, 5'11", 240, just wrapping those big arms around the receiver. Shaheen, excuse me.
So the Saints will need to go a long way. 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line. 78 yards to the end zone with 3:58 to go. 3 wide receivers set. Moquecho in the back. Meredith takes the snap, drops back, faces pressure, throws towards the right sideline, incomplete. Just escaped the pocket there and let it out.
Joseph Lara, I thought, was going to have a chance to make a play there near the far sideline. But yeah, Meredith really got swallowed up by that defense faster than he thought, faster than I think anybody thought. You know that they're going to apply pressure here coming toward halftime. We'll see if Bonita continues to bring the blitz.
That's a couple of times actually that defensive line of the Bearcats have been able to break through the O-line of the Saints. Meredith under center. Hands it off to Vigil. Vigil with a stiff arm. And goes down immediately to bring up 3rd down. Excuse me, Moquecho on the carry.
You get the sense Marquecho thought he saw something up the middle, but from our perspective, if he would have kept moving a bit to his left, had a bigger hole, Marquecho just getting stuffed trying to go right up.
An incomplete pass and no gain on the second carry. This time breaking through and picking up a first down up the left sideline. That's Julian Vigil, excuse me.
Julian Vigil on the carry.
There it is, though, exposing the Bonita defense toward the near side of the field. They've been working right all game long. It feels like almost lulling them to sleep to try and open up this side of the field. Now they're on the left hash. We'll see, probably going to continue working right, but if they can work the outs, you get the sense that they could beat Gill to the left side of the field.
First and 10 from the 34. Meredith hands it off up the middle. Good rush on the play there. That's Tristan Fierro. First time we saw Fierro get some action there.
2nd and 3.
Fierro's another playmaker for San Dimas, one of those guys that Mark Holman can go to when he needs a play to be made.
Saints going quickly, 2nd and 3 to go, bottled up immediately at the line of scrimmage to bring up 3rd down. 2.5 minutes to go and counting in the first half. 20-7, Bonita leading San Dimas.
Another make or break play. Last time San Dimas called for a flag at the line of scrimmage in a situation like this where they needed first down. Only 3rd and 3. It's attainable.
Empty backfield on 3rd and 3 from their own 41. Quick throw to Vigil on the left side. Scoots up the middle and will be about a yard short. 4th down.
You get the sense that Bonita knows where San Dimas is going to go. It's going to be Vigil. If it's a pass play, it's going to be Marquecho if it's a run. Vigil has shown that he can help him out with the legs. The University of Hawaii commit who's going to school a bit early, like you mentioned, right, Billy? In the turn of the year. It's going to be one of the two guys, and it's just tough when, you know, you're betting on one.
San Dimas selects to go for the punt on 4th and 1 on their side of the field. Unless Holman's got some more trickery. Nope, they play it smooth. Robinson calls for the fair catch at the 25. Second time that he's fallen back, making the catch.
I'm glad you said that. That's what I was going to say, too.
Made the grab both times, but maybe something to notice in the future. Bearcats will have 1:11 to try to add to the score. It's 20-7 in their favor. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line.
Not a lot of time to make something happen, but we've seen the Bearcats do it in less. They're plenty capable of provided the big play. Noah McHale went to the house last time before they brought it back on the first play of that drive, so we'll see.
4 wide receivers set. 3 to the right, 1 up top to the left. Lippert out of the shotgun. On 1st and 10, takes the snap. The righty slings it up the middle. That's Robinson with no one around him. Caught into the end zone again. No flags on the play. And Dylan Robinson with another deep receiving touchdown grab.
One-on-one against Jeremiah Fernandez. The Saints cornerback had no chance. Robinson just burned him, showing off the wheels. Taking it for a 2nd touchdown catch of the night.
Kids are saying cook these days. Robinson cooked him. Bearcats select to go for just 1 here. The 26-7 lead, 58 seconds remaining. Lenahan in. A little bit of a high snap, corralled and brought down by Apodaca. Kick is up and through the uprights. 27-7 in favor of the Bearcats. So we saw a 15-second drive end in a Robinson touchdown, and this time 2 seconds better. 13-second drive end in a Robinson touchdown.
Said it wasn't a lot of time, a minute and 11 seconds, and talked about how they did it in one play the time before it got called back. This time, nothing bringing that one back. Another one-play touchdown for this Bonita offense. Just one and done.
We've seen 3 and outs. How about one and dones?
Oh.
I like that. Bearcats with the explosive players, and the explosive plays here in the first half has helped them up to a 27-7 lead. A little squib. Saints recover from their own 22, working their way upfield and tackled at the 30.
Steve Bogan says, you want to go with the onside kicks, Coach Holman? We'll go with a little bit of a squib here with less than 60 seconds. Put the pressure on you to try and do something. It's probably smarter if the Saints just play it safe, inch toward the halftime break.
Yeah, just 51 seconds. Well, you never know. We saw Meredith let it ride from midfield earlier. First and 10 from their own 30. A bit of a trickery there. How about that? A lot of daylight up ahead. It's Vigil. Check that. And slung out of bounds at the 25.
A big play for the Hawaii commit. Vigil had just one block down the sideline. You start to think if he had maybe just a little bit more help, Vigil could have taken that to the house. And who other than Dylan Robinson to chase him down, of course. But a great play by the integral part of the Saints offense, Julian Vigil, a huge run.
Remember, we said he was out a year ago from the Smudge pot, making his mark here. Fumble on the play, picked up by the Saints, and recovered at their own 29-yard line with 28 seconds and counting to bring up second down.
Good situational awareness. Nathaniel Almaraz picking up the drop ball by Meredith. Looked like the Saints were trying to do the same thing, a neat double handoff trick play, and Almaraz able to pick it up when Meredith dropped it.
There's a timeout on the field.
With 8 seconds remaining, the Saints will elect to use their final timeout of the first half. 2nd and 15 from their own 29-yard line as they trail a few possessions here, 27-7 your score in favor of the Bearcats. 8 seconds, Nate. Probably got a chance once, maybe twice in the end zone.
Coach Holman's a bit fired up talking to the Saints. He knows that his offense had a better opportunity than, this 8 seconds at 2nd and 15 from the 29. If they could have executed that last play at least 50% better than they did. Dropping the ball certainly helped nothing at all and gives Bonita a better chance when it could have been at least 2nd and 10, even if they were snuffed at the line of scrimmage. Now, yeah, you do have a couple of chances, but you're playing against the stopwatch. You get it to your fastest guy, maybe out of bounds as quick as possible on an out route, or you go straight for it right here and hope that you have, 1 or 2 seconds to work with after an incomplete pass, hopefully. So, you're not against going for it right here, but at the same time, you want points for sure any way out of this.
So a little bit of a second huddle there as head coach Mark Holman called the crew back. 2nd and 15 from their own 29, 8 seconds to go in the first half. Saints desperately trying to stay within reach of the Bearcats. Meredith runs up the middle, throws in the end zone, batted down, time expires. Or are they going to add a second? Did you see a second left on there, Nate?
When the ball was dropped and hit the ground, there was 1 second on the game clock. Unless, you know, I turned my head and I saw it, I misread it. But I saw time on the game clock after the ball hit the ground.
Well, Mark Holman's talking to the official there. And that'll be it. That's the end of the first half. 27-7 in favor of Bonita. Nate, it's been a lot of aerial attack from the Bearcats. Lippert has found the end zone twice to Robinson and a couple of times to a few other of his receivers.
I'm not a fan of how that, you know, the final second played out. I would have liked to see San Dimas get one more shot at the end zone. I mean, it's a high school rivalry game. They almost had it right there on that play. Obviously, Meredith thrown into a trio of defenders for Bonita inside the end zone. It was a long shot, but you have another play there with another second on the clock. I think fair is fair. Tough for San Dimas, but great for Bonita to come out and play strong in the first half. First play of the game, able to make the scoring happen, and then just keeping their foot on the gas pedal. You can only hope for more for Steve Bogan's offense.
Saints will start off in the second half with the first possession to try to inch the game closer. San Dimas cheer squad will give you the halftime festivities. At the end of the first half of the 2024 Smudge Pop, it is Bonita 27, San Dimas 7. You're watching KWST San Dimas Community Television.
That's your San Dimas High School dance team. That's your San Dimas High School cheer team. Next up, we have the San Dimas High School dance team. Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety, we ask you please do not stand over the railing. Please do not stand over the railing. It is a safety hazard. Continuing our halftime performance, the St. Louis Royal Corps is going to perform their field show titled Machine. St. Louis High School Royal Corps.
'52nd annual Smudge Pot game between the Bearcats and the Saints. Second half of action is just moments away. It is the Bearcats leading 27-7. I'm Billy Lopez alongside Nate Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us here on KWST Dimas Community Television. Nate, how do we get here? How do we get to 27-7?
Bonita exploded right out of the gate. I mean, San Dimas, they kicked things off. They began this game with a little bit of trickery. An onside kick caught the defense napping. The Bearcats lost possession and what they thought was going to be their first drive. Forced a quick 3-and-out. Junior quarterback Travis Lippert, when the lights shine brightest, he's starting to show he can really shine himself. Lippert, a 74-yard touchdown to Dylan Robinson, who had 2 in the first half. Robinson is having a great game. Lippert then connected to Joseph Lara for another touchdown. Fernandez for the Saints, Jeremiah Fernandez, a 47-yard touchdown pass, kind of cut things in half, made it 14-7. Then Lippert again to Cole Parra in the second quarter, Parra, an 18-yard haul for a touchdown, and then Robinson's second touchdown made it 26-7. Stephen Lanahan has been nice tonight. We saw the Bearcats go for 2. Jacob Maddox trying to bring some trickery, but couldn't quite get it done. Steve Bogan's team won 28-0 last year. It's 27-7 heading into the third quarter. I think the Bearcats keep the pedal to the metal.
24 minutes left of football, and the Bearcats are 24 minutes away from taking a 6th consecutive Smudge Pot back at the Bonita High School. And Steve Bogan, perfect 5-0, looking to go 6-0. He's writing his name in the Smudge Pot history books pretty quickly.
You can certainly tell he's got 2026 circled if he's still at the helm of the Bonita football program. You know, Bo Beatty is there helping him out, likely to fill those legendary shoes that he's leaving an imprint in. But right now they're focused on this season. This team made it into the second round of CIF last season. San Dimas themselves made it into the first round. Both of these head coaches, esteemed, established. They run their programs well. They're hoping to build on their success last season, and this is just the start of the year. No matter how this game goes, whichever way for either team, you want to build on it no matter what. 10% better every day, they say, right? You want to be a marginally better team at the end of the year entering the playoffs than you were coming into tonight, the Smudge Pot game.
And I'm glad you kind of take a look at that full picture scope, Nate, because as big as this game is, both teams still have greater goals beyond them, and it's that CIF, it's that playoff time. And despite Bonita kind of winning as of recently in these Smudge Pot rivalry games, it's been San Dimas that has had success in CIF championships, winning a title in 2009 and 2013, and a CIF finalist in 2015, and just 2 years ago in 2022, 1 win away from being CIF finalists again. So it's been the Saints in the playoffs and the Bearcats in Smudge Pot games as San Dimas receives it at their own 21. And they march up ahead to the 32-yard line. It'll be the Saints in the blue, working from left to right on your screen here in the second half. They trail 27-7 against the Bonita Bearcats.
San Dimas defense couldn't quite provide as many stops as head coach Mark Holman would have hoped for in the first half. You now want Bonita to really stay under the 40-point mark if you want to get to the end of this game and have a chance in it. The offense needs to be a bit more consistent and really threaten this defense on every drive, put them on their heels, make them feel like momentum could swing at any moment.
We've seen a couple of plays from the Saints offensively. Obviously the biggest one, the touchdown pass to Jeremiah Fernandez. We've seen parts of Marquette and Vigil as well. Can they package it together on a complete drive? Meredith looks deep left for Fernandez again. Oh, wow. I think that was a blatant missed call there, Nate.
Took the words right out of my mouth. You could tell the Bonita defensive end had his hands all over Jeremiah Fernandez. I mean, he's asking the ref, please. We saw that. That was clear from up here, and we're plenty farther away than the officials are.
Absolutely. Sometimes you miss them. It's just human nature.
You could hear the whole crowd groaning.
San Dimas side had a great view of the hold there. To no avail, 2nd and 10. There's a handoff. Marquette bulldozing his way for a first down. Pickup of 13. Tackled down at their own 41.
Good to see that, San Dimas able to turn the page. Things don't go your way. There's a missed call. What can you do about it? Nothing. You're not going to go back. You're not going to get that play. The only thing you can do is, try to convert on 2nd down. And Marquette, big-time player, going to make some big-time plays in the second half if San Dimas is going to have a chance.
You can't dwell on the missed calls. 1st and 10 from their 46. Bearcats D-line breaking through. Tackle for a loss there and some extracurriculars there, likely against Bonita. Looks as if it was Aiden Garcia, the defensive end. Got a little upset there, brought one of the Saints down. Flags came in and some of his teammates were immediately there to push off Garcia, and Coach Bogan and Beatty are going to be talking to him on the sideline right now about that.
You have to imagine some temper's still high from the first play of this drive. That long pass that should have resulted in, who knows what Fernandez could have done if he had a clear route to that ball. Obviously being held tight by the defense, but again, what can you do? Emotions are going to linger. This second half means a lot to both these sides.
I know we still got a full second half to play, but seems as if this drive is the most important, and for both sides. Meredith throws a quick pass that's bobbled, incomplete ruled. Incomplete to Vigil on the near sideline.
Vigil will tell you he should have held on to that, but he's probably thankful for the official. He got hit quick by Noah McHale, who was there to make the tackle, and right on impact, that ball came out of his hands.
We'll bring up 2nd and 10 from Bearcats 40-yard line. Meredith under center. Marquette in the backfield. Couple of handoff there. It makes its way back to Vigil, and he makes it at around the 40-yard line. If the refs are generous, it's a pickup of 1. If not, we're still at 3rd and 10, and it'll be 3rd and 9.
San Dimas has elected that double handoff a few times now since the start of this ball game, and you feel like the Bonita defense starts to read it a bit better each time.
Saints have Aaron Gomez up top to the left. Handoff goes nowhere. That's Fierro on the carry. And that's 4th and 11.
Matthew Maharis, the sophomore defensive linebacker, he was just bursting through the offensive line.
Despite the penalties, the Bearcats hold the Saints Robinson deep back to receive at his own 10.
Not the way they wanted to start it.
Not at all. Punt's nearly blocked. Robinson will let this bounce and go into the end zone for a touchback.
Blocked punt would have made things way worse.
Absolutely. So the Bearcats will start from their own 20, 1st and 10. First possession for them in the second half. It's 27-7 in their favor. Billy Lopez alongside Nate Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us here. KWST, San Dimas Community Television, bringing to you the 52nd annual Smudge Pod game between Bonita and San Dimas. Bonita with 5 consecutive Smudge Pot wins, looking for 6 in a row. And they have a healthy 20-point lead. They also lead the all-time series 26-24. Handoff to McHale, who picks up around 5. Tackle just shy of the 25 to bring up second down.
The Texas A&M commit has brought his steady defensive presence. That's what he's going to A&M for, is to play linebacker. But offensively, he hasn't made that big of an impact in this game. Not the same impact he made last season, where he really shined in the Smudge Pot rivalry game. This year, he's doing his thing defensively. Perhaps Steve Bogan really trying to sharpen him up for the next step. Perhaps that's what A&M wants, but you know McHale probably wants to leave an imprint in this game. He didn't do much in the first half. Probably going to get more looks in the second.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of Robinson in that first half. Another handoff. This time it's Para. Picks up a couple more before Almaraz wrangles him down. They'll bring up 3rd and 2.
That's yellow number or yellow ticket number 218474.
It's already the most points the San Dimas defense has allowed in a game in their early season. They allowed 14 in the opener against Burbank. A 49-0 shutout last season, or last week, excuse me.
Here's McHale once again on the rush. Good enough to break a few tackles and pick up the first down. The Bearcats 33.
Second time McHale's earned a first down for Bonita tonight.
Did you get your 50-50?
I did not.
Neither did I. I don't really have too much good luck in those raffles.
You got to think the odds are higher playing the 50-50 at a game like this, though, than, you know, a raffle somewhere, I guess, bigger, per se.
That is true. Less people, and then say the lottery.
Right.
1st and 10 from their own 34. Lippert stumbles a little bit, then throws. Intended for Robinson. Far sideline, incomplete.
Lippert's O-line did a great job of giving him a lot of time on that play, almost too much time to kind of think about where he wanted to go. Saw Robinson running his route and looked like he tried to place the ball a bit too much than leading him.
Yeah, it almost looked like Lippert was kind of stuttering with his feet. Maybe he just saw too many options, and then, as you mentioned, trying to place it for Robinson, incomplete.
Don't
Brings
think,
up 2nd and 10.
just throw.
That's what they say, right? 2nd and 10 from their own 34. Robinson all up top. Here he is on the reception, breaking a tackle, far sideline, and tackled into Saints territory around the 43.
Maybe that's the difference tonight, too, for Lippert. You know, there is no thinking when you know Robinson's your number one option on the play call. So you can tell he's got a different confidence when he's throwing the ball to him. The spiral looks tighter. Maybe it's just something about that certain play call. Lippert, is, you know, his number one option is going to be Robinson, and that's what he feels tonight.
And he's had himself a game, 2 receiving touchdowns. Well over 100 receiving yards. I'd imagine nearing 200.
That 74-yarder to start things off was a nice way to, you know, get that number going.
Lippert rolls out of the pocket, finds an empty receiver, downfield, and tackled just shy of the goal line.
Travis Lippert's pass is complete to Isaiah Lazarus. Tackled by Aaron Gomez.
It's Lippert to Lazarus. First time we've seen Lazarus in on the action.
Some L&L cooking, getting into the red zone.
Bearcats are a perfect 2 for 2, finding the end zone within the red zone. First and 5. 5 yards to go. 6:20 remaining in the third quarter. Here's McHale, and McHale breaking a few tackles, diving near the end zone for a touchdown.
No McHale on the carry.
You said the Texan A&M commit would make a mark here in the second half, and there he is, rushing on in for the first touchdown of the second half.
You could tell from the first carry when he started this drive on back-to-back plays that he was sniffing the end zone. From 80 yards away, he wanted to get in it. McHale, the primary ball carrier on that drive. Lippert attacking through the air using Robinson and Lazarus to get there, but it's McHale doing the groundwork.
There's Maddox going for 2 this time. Instead of running or throwing, he elects to try to rush it in. It's hit pretty hard there, but bounces right up.
Saints said, no way, you're not going to sneak into the corner by us. It's 33-7. They've got a lot of work to do. You need to see every single play. It kind of matters now at this point for San Dimas, unless you want to just give it away. You have to be in it, locked in every single snap.
33-7 is your score. 6:12 remaining in the third quarter of action. Bearcats have a healthy and comfortable lead. You're watching the Smudge Spot 2024 football game on San Dimas Community Television. Louis Lopez alongside Nate Rodriguez bringing to you the action. It's been beautiful weather today. This evening, the neutral site, Citrus College. Saints ready to return. Another squib kick. Picked up at the Saints 22 and tackled around the 33. That was John-Luc Berdure on the carry.
It's been similar field position all night for both sides coming out of the kickoff returns, using the onside kicks and squib kicks, San Dimas and Bonita respectively. Starting from around the 33, it's not bad field position. San Dimas halfway into the third quarter would love to get at least one score up on the board before the fourth.
Timeout Bonita at 6:06 before the play gets started. Bearcats have a 33-7 lead over San Dimas. Well, it's been the first time I've seen Travis Lippert play live, Nate, and I've been impressed with the junior QB.
Yeah, we weren't sure exactly how he was going to perform coming in, but you had an idea when he beat Daniel Milkey over at Ontario Christian last week, or 2 weeks ago, excuse me, that, you know, he was going to come out ready to play tonight. That was a big game. Milkey, a highly touted prospect with offers from Georgia and Michigan, the likes of those big power schools, you know, in college football, and Lippert outshined him. They won. Bearcats won 35-27, showing that he can lead this offense. The second string, as you mentioned, from last year, beating out the guy that played in front of him all year long.
That's got to feel really good, not only for Lippert, but also for the coaching staff to say, you know what, we have our talent, and we're ready to keep going for a great season. Both teams coming into the Smudge Pot game undefeated. The Saints 2-0, the Bearcats 3-0. One team will remain undefeated. The other one will pick up their first loss of the regular season. Fumbled on the play. Bearcats pounce on it. That ball's still loose. Not sure who exactly is down there on the end of it as we await an official to signal. A lot of Bearcats pointing to that they have it, and it's the Bearcats' ball.
After that last Bearcats score, you started to feel like things were starting to slip from San Dimas, and like I said, you got to be locked in every snap. You can't take a play off now at this point in time, and obviously there was a lapse somewhere. The forced fumble, Bonita takes back over, and it's not good looking for San Dimas.
Not at all. When it rains, it pours, and certainly the Bearcats looking to pour it on here. 1st and 10 from the Saints' 28-yard line. They are leading 33-7 and looking to add more with 5:57 to go. Nothing but daylight up ahead for Lara. Picks up a 1st down and moves the chains into the red zone for the Bearcats.
He made the defender look like a coach holding up a pad. Lara, the sophomore, strong as bricks, man. Holy Toledo.
1st and 10 for the Bearcats at the San Dimas 16.
And the O-line opens up holes like that, it's got to feel really good as a running back. Flag on the play. False start. That'll bring them back a little bit. 1st and 15 from the 21.
They'll take any break you can get if you're a Saint. You think that Lippert's probably going to go back in the air into the end zone. You try and keep the corners covered. San Dimas has the potential to make a play right here, but I'll tell you what, Fernandez has been getting burned by Robinson all night to the point that they had to switch the coverage.
4 wide receivers set. Quarterback keep, here's Lippert, and he slides down at the 12.
Travis Lippert on the carry, tackled by Jean-Luc.
I heard a soundbite from Teddy Bridgewater talking about how every time quarterbacks slide, it's just dangerous.
Yeah, you always kind of brace for impact and hope for the best. That's Cole Parra. Handoff on the inside for a couple. That'll bring up 3rd down.
It's 3rd down.
Such a big argument, you know, player safety. Obviously, it feels like the more science and research is involved in the game, the more precautious the league gets. It's a fine line because you miss the beauty of the rough and tough game that once was compared to what feels soft now. I mean, we're looking toward flag football in the Olympics.
It's a nice reception down there on the near sideline.
Not that that's going to take away from, of course, America's sport. This is football country, but it just feels like, you know, you wish you had that part of the game back, and it's never coming back.
No, not at all. Completely different, and obviously for player safety, that was Brian Alva on the last reception for the Bearcats. First time we've seen Alva get in on the action as Coach Bogan and Beatty are trying to add a little bit more versatility with a healthy 33-7 lead. Lippert under center, takes the snap, hands it off immediately to Parra. Parra went down, and did he cross the goal line? Yes, he did. Officials call that a touchdown. And the Bearcats just pouring it on.
You'd think this was a home game at Glenn Davis Stadium for the Bearcats. They treated it like it was such last year, the 28-0 shutout. And although San Dimas has gotten on the board in this game, it's got that same demoralizing feeling if you're a Saint fan. Like you said, it's one drive at a time. You're starting to kind of realize this game might be out of reach, but you want to build on the previous play and keep the momentum moving forward.
Lenahan in on the point after. And he's been perfect today. That is 40-7 for Bonita. Well, how about some Bearcats history, Nate? They're close to the most points scored in a Smudge Pot game for them. The most they've scored in a game was 41 back in 2010, winning 41-20.
That feels a bit inevitable, Billy. See if it's the first team unit that cracks it.
And if they can find the end zone again and convert on another point after, it'll be the most in Smudge Pot history. San Dimas holds that record at 46 points way back in 1984. Don Warhurst, head coach of the Saints at that time, 46-0, a shutout back in '84. Well, we've seen some interesting kickoffs.
We were talking pregame if, the new kickoff formation in the NFL applied to high school and how, that was diversifying the play calls at the highest level. But, the trickery in the kicks tonight, in the kickoffs, and just Bonita almost recovering that one. This has been entertaining from the get-go.
3:07 remaining in the third quarter. 1st and 10 for the Saints from their own 20. Hand off to Vigil, University of Hawaii. Commit is tackled after picking up a couple of yards.
Tackled by Cole Park. 2nd and 5.
Vigil with 5 on the carry. 2nd and 5 from a Saints 25-yard line, 2:36 to go. Meredith takes the snap, hands it off to Vigil on the left side this time, working end to end, and gets 1 to bring up 3rd and 4.
Vigil got hit hard on that play, and as mentioned, before we went to halftime, it's one of 2 options for San Dimas. It's Morquecho or it's Vigil. You had Fernandez earlier for the long touchdown pass, but that's not a consistent option, and at this point, you kind of got to consider Vigil's health and safety. He was banged up all last year with an injury. You don't want to re-aggravate anything. You don't want to run Marquecho off the field. So, a big game like this, you got to still diversify your options, even if your passes aren't complete or your runs aren't for gains. You gotta take care of your guys.
And what's interesting, Nate, as the Saints run it again on 3rd down, will come up a few yards short to bring up 4th and 3. When we were talking at the start of the broadcast, not sure if the viewers at home were there with us or not at that time, but San Dimas coming into the season, or coming into this game, had 10 different rushers rush for them in the first 2 games of the season, and for the most part it's been Vigil and Morquecho. Obviously so, they're going to give it to their top 2 backs. But we talked about maybe that spread out approach was going to allow some more creativity, allow some more rest for your big time players so that they can make a little bit more bigger plays.
Yeah, and you just haven't seen the fresh legs. You have not seen the fresh legs that those different options provide you throughout the game. It's, Vigil is a tremendous 2-way player. Can get it done, running routes or doing the groundwork for you, but you just can't rely on him all game. Against this, obviously you're going to go to him, like you said, against a tough defense like Bonita, but it became too predictable. And there's still another 12 minutes left to play in this game, almost 13 considering this. But Bonita this team is unstoppable. They're in for a good year.
A chance at history for the Bearcats for most points scored in a Smudge Pot game. Belongs to San Dimas with 46, the Bearcats with 40, and a lot of time left, 51 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Handoff to Apodaca, picks up a healthy 7 to bring up 2nd and 3, right at midfield.
This is a great opportunity for Coach Bogan to instill some confidence in some guys that don't get as many touches as they normally would. Up 33 points, you got a full quarter to really play with. You can build some camaraderie here, build some trust in your different options, and build moving forward. You know, this is still considerably a high leverage game. It is a rivalry game. The lights shine bright. You're at an alternate site. This is meaningful.
Lipper keeps it and then tosses it over to the side. That's Gill. Picks up the first down and is pushed out of bounds after getting into Saints territory at the 39. Probably the biggest preseason game that a team could have.
Yeah, and you know, tough for San Dimas. Their bye already came. Bonita, they're going to keep building on this play. They have 2 more weeks left in the schedule before they get their bye. They get their bye a week before conference play or league play at the high school level. And I get the feeling that that's going to do them real well, that they're going to have time to recover once their bodies have gone through the beating of, you know, the hot weather, the tail end of summer. They get into the swing of fall, and this team will be full stride. I mean, this is a big green machine, big mean green machine. And you look forward to what they can do throughout the year.
And this is a program sweep as we in the third quarter. The score is 40-7 in favor of Bonita. We're watching KWST, San Dimas Community Television. I'm Billy Lopez alongside Nate Rodriguez. And Nate, program sweep. The freshmen won 35-7. The JV team won 42-7. And entering the final quarter of the 52nd Smudge Pot game, it's Bonita Bearcats leading 40-7.
I'd be headed to the casino. 7 seems like the lucky number tonight.
Well, talking about the 50-50, I think we've heard the winning ticket announced several times next to us, and still no one has redeemed it. I might have to talk to Danny and say, hey,
who's going to get this prize, huh? Right?
That's Davion Woodley, running back, senior.
Woodley really hasn't gotten much action in this game, but as you've seen, Apodaca the last few carries getting into the game, Woodley, Gill, these are guys offensively that weren't making a huge impact early on. Now you're seeing they're getting the chance to play make and create pressure on this San Dimas defense.
And Woodley was second on the team coming into the day with 96 rushing yards, second to Joseph Lara's 152. 4 wide receivers set. There's Woodley in action. This time it's kept up the middle. That's Colpara bulldozing his way into the red zone, tackled at the Saints 14.
Colpara on the carry. Tackled by Jean-Luc Brodeur.
I admire the grittiness out of the senior. Something about going out there with a cast on, still laying it all out for your team while you know you're banged up. You don't gotta be out there, you know, and especially in a blowout game now. But giving 110%, playing the game the right way, that's what you like to see.
Pair of wide receivers set to Lippard's left, and a pair down low to his right. Apodaca, the back to his right from the left hash. 1st and 10 from the Saints 14. Lippard out of the shotgun. Woodley in motion. Hands it to Apodaca instead. Picks up 5 or 4 and tackled at the 10.
Drew Apodaca on the carry.
Bonita doing a good job, still mixing up their looks, just marching their way down and eating time off the clock. A 33-point differential, and at this point, Bonita will just look for any way to keep piling on.
Yeah, stay healthy, but still play well for the Bearcats. And for the Saints, hey, you know it's out of reach, but you can still build some momentum and take some stuff, bring it back to the next session of film, and work for your next game. 2nd and 7 from the Saints 11. Lippard out of the shotgun, takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Woodley, throws to Gill, near sideline, diving near the pylon for a touchdown.
Oh, how about the athleticism?
Jacob Gill with the receiving touchdown for the Bearcats. That 46 points. Now ties a Smudge Pot record for most points scored by a team in this rivalry. You have to go back to 1984. The team scoring 46 points. And the Bearcats are a point away from eclipsing that and setting a new record with 47 tonight. Kick is up and the kick is good, and history is in the books. 47 points, a 40-point lead for the Bearcats.
What a neat moment for Stephen Lanahan, who probably doesn't even know it, but he's able to, you know, be there, earn that record-breaking point for Bonita. You knew tonight was going to be a big night, not as big as this one.
Yep. .10:07 remaining. Bearcats have a 47-7 lead. We knew the Saints were the underdogs, but at the end of the day, the Bearcats still needed to put in the work, and they have done just that. Scooped up at the 15 and hit pretty hard at the 17, only about 2 yards on the return.
You had a good feeling for the Saints early on when they got the initial kickoff back, but once the 3-and-out happened and Bonita just silenced them with the first play, 74-yarder from Lippert to Robinson, things turned around quickly. And Bonita came out stronger this year in the first half than they did last year. Were able to pile it on. Lippert commanding the air. It was a good night for the Bonita offense, and it's still not over.
There's a timeout on the field.
9:33 to go, timeout. Before the Saints start off this drive. 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line. So just trying to dive more into the history books here. So 47 points is the record now, Nate. And if you were wondering, okay, well, what's the biggest margin of victory? Because that's kind of the next thing that we're trying to look at. It is 46 points, the largest margin of victory. San Dimas over Bonita in 1984. So if Bonita were to find the end zone again one more time, they could potentially have the most points scored in a game and the largest margin of victory in a Smudge Pot game.
It's been an all-out dominant effort by Bonita, and San Dimas had opportunities in the first half to stay in this game, but the more they let them slip away, you had the sense that Bonita was going to make this a rout.
Well, here's a big hole for the Saints running back. Picks up a first down and tackled shy of the 40. That's Fierro on the carry.
For Mark Holman and the rest of the Saints, though, you can't hang your head after a game like this. This is your first real test of the season. You've ran into two opponents that you had your way with, and rightfully so. I mean, ranked in the lower hundreds of the state of California, both Pasadena and Burbank. So it's a tough game. It's a tough loss, and obviously, game's not finished, and you want to keep building. The Saints running the ball here, doing a good job of it, but there are learning lessons to take from this game. Absolutely.
Marquecho with the good carry there on first down to bring up 2nd and 4. Yeah, Bonita's a top-ranked team here, ranked 95th in the state of California. For San Dimas, coming into the day, ranked at 249th. So work cut out for them, and the Bearcats have done a great job. Saints marching band still playing, and the crowd, cheer team, dance team, still showing the spirit.
San Dimas crowd's treated it like a party. I don't know. I think the Bonita the Bonita student section came up ready to root the Bearcats to a win. Like I said, they've treated this house like it's Glenn Davis Stadium the past few years. And 6-0 coming out of the pandemic, I think I would too.
Yeah, you'd almost imagine the Bearcats, their student section is called the Bearcat Den. Almost come in just expecting this nowadays, right?
I couldn't quite catch that. Sorry, it's tough to hear. Sorry.
Except for the Bearcats student section, really haven't heard too much of them despite being dominating in this game. But I think maybe they're getting used to like just coming in, yeah, Smudge Pot, we're going to win, we're going to dominate. And
yeah, it's becoming the new normal. Maybe that is the case.
7:11 to go in the game. The Saints are marching on your screen from right to left. They trail 47-7. 2nd and 7 to go. Check that 3rd down. As Morquecho carries and is tackled just a couple yards short of the 1st down marker.
It does kind of give that big brother, little brother rivalry over the last few years, you know. Bonita starting to carry out that looks like they'll be 27 and 24 now after 52 years with 1 tie. In case you thought my math didn't add up, there is 1 tie.
Yes.
As well. But, you know, San Dimas, it's just a matter of recruiting, and really Steve Bogan, a legendary San Gabriel Valley coach, has been blessed with some great talent. Noah McHale, Dylan Robinson, just 2 examples of the talent that they've had over the last few years.
Morquecho gets the 1st down on a 4th down play and into the Bearcats territory, tackled at the 48. The 1 tie that you were mentioning, Nate, 1987, 14-14.
We're a long way from there.
Oh, yeah. Another handoff for the Saints. Picking up about 4 yards on the carry. It's Adam Diamato.
Adam Diamato on the carry.
First time we've seen Diamato get a carry tonight.
2nd and 6.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit more of Tristan Fierro, Almaraz, and now Diamato. Joining the rushing attack for the Saints here late in the 4th quarter. 5 minutes to go. Saints trailing by 40, 47-7. Diamato picked up 4 on the 1st down rush. 2nd and 6 from the Bearcat 46. Meredith under center. Keeps it himself and picks up a yard. 3rd and 5 at the 45.
Brandon Meredith on the carry.
Just nowhere to go for the junior quarterback. The San Dimas team looking like they're out of gas. A few more minutes left to hang in there, but unsure if they're going to convert on this 3rd down and 4. Haven't converted many at all tonight.
No. They give Meredith 2 on the QB keep. 3rd and 4, ball spotted on the Bonita 44-yard line. We're in the 4th quarter of the 52nd Smudge Pot game. Bearcats leading 47-7. And off to the left. Good enough for the 1st down, and the Saints offense continues to march down. That's Diamato once again with a nice healthy carry.
Adam Diamato on the carry. That run results in a San Dimas 1st down.
3.5 minutes remaining in this Smudge Pot game. Bonita will win their 27th Smudge Pot in school history. They'll now have 3 more Smudge Pot victories than the Saints' 24. Another rush for San Dimas on 1st down. Picks up 4. It's Gavin Westervoort.
Gavin Westervoort on the carry. Tackled by Jackson Lawrence. Second and
Well, now you're
5.
seeing all the fresh legs get into the game, but we're starting to wish that maybe you could have seen some diversity in the play calling a bit earlier. No more Moquecho, no more Vigil.
Well, if you couldn't make it out to the game today, we're so glad that you could join us. Online as Diamato has a big carry. Had a couple of first down pickups for the Saints on this drive.
You can tell the sophomore back's been waiting to get in the game and make an impact. Now, after Mark Holman, you're looking at your young sophomore like, man, I'm sorry, kid. I should have got you in the game a little bit earlier.
Bonita probably going to a lot of their secondary and defensively, but still, nonetheless, you're right. Diamato's had a little bit of a spark here on this latest drive for the Saints. Give it to him again. Has a nice big hole. Buries a Bearcat. And goes down right around the 11.
On the carry, tackled by Caden Quinn. Second and 4.
I love the aggressiveness out of Diamato. That's awesome. I mean, limited carries here on this drive. He's doing the leg work. He's marching down the field for San Dimas, and if they manage to score on this drive, it's because of what he did.
Looking ahead at the schedule with a minute to go in this game, 47-7 in favor of Bonita. San Dimas will look to rebalance. They got a couple of games on the road. Next week against Sunny Hills, and then in 2 weeks against Monrovia before opening up league play at home on October 3rd against West Covina. Not much there for Diamato on that carry.
Bonita realizing that he's going to his left. Ryder Grossenbach, the sophomore, making the tackle.
3rd and 3.
Just over 20 seconds to go, 4th. And that's going to be it. That'll be it. Saints will elect to run out the clock instead. Bearcats den gets excited and ready to storm the field. Players get ready to shake hands at midfield. It's the Bonita Bearcats winning the 52nd annual Smudge Pot game. 6 consecutive Smudge Pot wins. Big game from their quarterback, Travis Lippert. 4 passing touchdowns. And the biggest wide receiver threat, Dylan Robinson, bringing in 2 of them.
The UW commit propelling Bonita to a dub. The junior quarterback Lippert has shown he's leading this offense this year. 4 passing touchdowns, like you said, Billy. History made tonight here from Citrus College Stadium. 47 points, most scored in a Smudge Pot game. Congratulations to the Bearcats, hoisting the Smudge Pot Trophy for a 27th time.
And there it is. The Smudge Pot Trophy once again being held high by the Bearcats. That was Ibrahim Moussalet, the first one, carrying it and taking it down to the Bearcat fans. Looking ahead, it's going to be the Bearcats playing on the road against Kaiser before a bye week and starting off league play against a very tough Glendora team on the road. Bearcats improved to 4-0, undefeated on the season. Congratulations goes out to Steve Bogan and Bo Beatty, co-head coaches for Bonita. Steve Bogan now with 6 Smudge Pot wins, a perfect 6-0, and 6 consecutive for Bonita.
Congratulations to Coach Bogan and Coach Beatty as well. A well-executed game. Bonita, the favorites, coming in, taking care of the Saints, who suffer their first loss of the season. There's a lot to expect for this Bonita program, though, who looks to return to the playoffs late this season.
A special thank you for everyone joining us here on KWST-TV Dimas Community Television. Thank you to all the crew. It always puts a great production on. Nate, always a pleasure to do this with you. I'm Billy Lopez. Have a blessed night, everyone.